Thank you.
That's all right, bye.
Yay. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. Um, yeah, today's theme I kind of based around designing for a class that would teach a headstand and inversion. So we might get to that today, but if we don't, it's okay. We're just gonna work on building the strength in the core and the upper body, and stretching out through the hips, getting some more flexibility. So poses like that might be more accessible in the future. We're gonna start today lying down on our backs. Ground through the feet, maybe draw the feet a little bit wider and draw the knees together in the center. Find a resting pose. Just to start the practice here, letting the back plant on the ground, welcoming a nice deep inhale. And slow exhale, push all of the air out. Just coming to arrive on your mat. Throughout the practice, feel free to modify any postures, make it your own. I'm simply here as a guide. Just be graceful with yourself and honor your limits. It's already amazing for you just to be showing up today. All right, we'll get into some movement here, drawing the knees in towards the chest. Just take a little rock side to side. Opening the hands out wide by the side. We'll take a nice deeper twist with the knees side to side. You don't have to let them fall all the way down on the ground next to you, but just twisting a little bit deeper here. Going back and forth. And we'll come back through center with the hips. Just start to straighten and bend the legs. Really trying to straighten all the way out, engaging through the quads as you do. And we'll slowly let the hands press into the ground next to you, extending straight through the legs. We'll slowly let the feet drop all the way down to the ground for 4, 3, 2, 1. And take a banana, arms reach overhead long. We'll walk the feet over to the left, walk the shoulders and hands to the left, keeping the hips exactly in the center, taking on the shape of a banana, breathing deep into the side body. And exhale, release, come back through center. We'll take it the other way, banana, feet to the right, upper body to the right. You could maybe even cross the left ankle over the right leg, banana. And back through center, keeping the arms overhead here. Engaging through the core, we'll tuck the belly, suck the belly in, lift off the shoulders and arms, lift off the legs as much as you can, trying to make a hollow body shape. We hold this here, pulling the belly in. And 3, 2, 1, release it back down. Take a breath. We're going back into a hollow body hold. You got this. We inhale, lift off the shoulders and arms, lift the feet, legs off the ground, press the back into the ground, belly pulling in. Keep breathing. For 3, 2, 1, release it down. One more hollow body hold here, lots of core strength. Nice deep inhale, and we lift and hold. You got this. Lifting as much off the shoulders, as much off the legs as possible, with the whole back on the ground. Mid back, I guess, low back. 3, 2, 1, release. Wonderful. We'll take a single leg stretch. One leg reaches up here. You can grab the calf, the ankle, or even the foot. Use a strap maybe. To draw the leg in closer to you. Really, again, trying to extend straight as possible through the leg, flexing the foot for a deeper stretch. We'll start to just open this foot out to the side and return it back over body, up ahead. So opening out to the side and bringing it back overhead. Another time here, just opening, bringing it back up. We'll open one more time here. See how far down you can get the leg to the ground next to you, while also trying to pull it up towards your head. Nice hip opener. Make sure that left hip stays, the opposite hip kind of stays grounded. We'll come back through center with this extended leg. We're gonna bend into both knees, place the extended leg's ankle onto the other leg thigh. So figure four pigeon stretch here. And we just draw the lower thigh in towards the chest here. And you'll be pushing the upper knee away from you. We'll cross the legs over even deeper here so the thighs cross, the knees kind of stack. This is kind of a shoelace on our back. We're going to pull again the thighs in towards the chest. Feel free to even kind of lift off the head, pull the forehead to touch the knees. And we'll unravel and release, take it to the other leg. So the leg you were just having extended will drop all the way down to the ground, and we'll extend straight through the other leg. Pull it close to your body as you can. Maybe flexing through the foot for a deeper stretch. Breathing through any discomfort. We'll start to add some movement, letting the foot fall out to the side and back up overhead. Falling out to the side. You push it back overhead. Again, just letting the leg fall out. Then bringing the leg back up. One more time here, letting the leg fall out to the side. We hold it out. Try to take that foot down low, pull it up towards your head at the same time. And we'll bring the extended leg back through center, bending into both knees. We'll place the ankle on top of the lower thigh, making a figure four shape, like a pigeon pose on our back. We pull the lower thigh in towards the chest, push the top knee away. Crossing even more over the thighs here, trying to stack the knees on top of each other. Just hug the knees in. And we'll maybe lift our forehead to touch the knees, and release it back down. Unravel. Extending the legs straight up here, arms by your side. We're going to start to draw some nice big circles with the legs together. Up and down and around. Using your core to help stabilize. We'll take it the other direction. Switch the direction. Nice big circles here. One more, you got it. We'll inhale, lift the legs straight up. From here, we're just opening the feet wide and bringing the feet back together. So just some adduction here. The feet fall away, back together. Let the feet fall away. Maybe even press your hands on the insides of the legs to press them apart more. We'll bring the legs back together. Awesome. You can hug the knees in towards the chest here. We'll start to rock it up. Rocking up, find a V sit. We rock it back. and then forward pause in a V sit. One or two more times like that, rocking back and pausing, finding control to stop in a V sit, holding our V sit boat pose. Our torso leans back. We're making a V shape with our thighs here. Feel free to extend straight through the legs. We hold here. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Release the feet. We'll bring the bottoms of the feet together. Open the knees wide, coming into our butterfly pose. Binding our hands around the feet. We'll inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, take a bow forward. Inhaling back up, we'll push the feet a little bit away from us here. So we're making more of a diamond shape. Two options, you can take a fold here, use your elbows to press the knees down, or if you'd like, you can thread your arms underneath of your calves, your shins, and then kind of grab your feet from underneath, getting into a bit deeper of a fold. We'll inhale again, lengthen through the crown of the head, the spine, and exhale, fold a bit deeper. Inhaling back up. Go ahead and just make your way to a tabletop. Coming into some cat-cows here. So the knees stacked right under the hips. We'll draw the navel down, open the chest forward, chin goes up. And we exhale, round through the spine, pulling the belly button towards the spine, tucking the pelvis. A few more just like that. Inhale, opening the chest, drawing the belly button down. And exhale, rounding, pushing the shoulder blades away, chin towards the chest. With your own breath here, whatever feels good, any extra movement. We'll come to sit back on our heels from here. So it's coming into a thunderbolt position. We're just going to further to open up our shoulders, because it's so important for something like a headstand to have really open, mobile shoulders. So we're just going to start with taking one arm across the chest. You could take our left arm. We'll start with the left side, pull it across the chest. From here, we're going to take the right arm underneath the left one, the upper arms first, kind of twist, and then we're going to twist through our forearms and interlace the wrists. This is our eagle arm pose here. So we're literally interlacing, twisting the hands, the arms together. Once you find your eagle arms, you'll want to lift the elbows and feel the elbows pulling away from your body. So you're kind of pushing the shoulder blades away. Releasing here, we're going to take the upper arm. For me, it's the left arm. The left arm is going to come right behind my head. And I'll let the left hand kind of come to the mid of my upper back, standing nice and tall with the head. And we'll take a side bend to the right gently. And come back through center, release. Let's take it to the other side. Right arm pulls across the body. We pull it in towards the chest. We'll take our eagle bind from here. Left arm goes underneath of the right, and we interlace, kind of twisting the arms around each other. You can maybe even touch the palms together at the top. We lift the elbows, pull the elbows away from the body. Breathing here. And we'll take the upper arm, the right arm, behind the head, our cow face arms here. You can just apply gentle pressure with the left hand onto the right elbow to kind of pull it a little bit further down the back. And we'll take a side bend to the left. Beautiful. And we'll come back to center. Release the arms here. We'll come back into tabletop position. Just taking a few rocks here back and forth to say hello to the wrists. We'll walk the hands a bit forward. We're bending into the elbows here, lowering our chest and chin to the ground. This is our 8-limb pose. On the inhale, we'll slide the chest forward and up. Squeeze the glutes as you find your cobra. Nice back bend here, pulling the chest forward, the shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale deep into the abs. Exhale, lift and push up with the hips back into a downward facing dog. Adding some movement here if you like, or finding stillness in your downward dog. We'll really lift the hips up high, even if you have to come up onto your toes. Let the chest fall down towards the ground, towards your thighs. The ears fall away from the shoulders. Nice deep cleansing breath here. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. From here, we're going to step the feet in towards the hands, keeping the feet about hip distance. We'll bend into the knees, relax into a dangling pose. Upper body and the head is super heavy. Maybe even grabbing opposite elbow, giving yourself a sway side to side. Let the upper back decompress here. On the next inhale, we'll straighten through the legs, straighten through the back, halfway lifting, hands to shins. Exhale, we'll release into a forward fold. Maybe try to keep the legs a bit more straight this time. Fold it down deep. And we'll inhale, bend into the knees, round through the spine, stand it all the way up, reaching arms overhead. And exhale, hands by your side. Beautiful. We'll take a sun salutation to kind of finish warming up, or we'll do two here. We'll ground through the feet about hip distance. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, we plant the hands, step it back into plank. We inhale here, lengthen through the crown of the head and the heels, press the shoulder blades away. On the exhale, we're lower to the ground. Feel free to drop the knees here or take a low push-up chaturanga, elbows tuck into the side, 90 degrees. We inhale, lift forward and up with the chest, upward facing dog. Maybe if your thighs are able to stay lifted off the ground. And exhale, downward facing dog. Another deep cleansing breath here, deep belly breath. And exhale, let it go. We'll inhale, lift through the heels, bend the knees. You can step or even take a hop to the top of the mat, releasing into a forward fold. We'll inhale all the way up to standing, arms overhead. And exhale, hands by your side. Awesome. So I like to kind of go through the sun salutations at a bit of a faster tempo just to kind of keep the body moving. If you need to slow it down, go for it. If you want to take another 3 sun salutations real quick before we get to our standing, go for it. Your own pace. We'll inhale, reach the arms overhead, tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, plant the hand, step it back into plank. Inhaling here. Exhale, we lower as you wish, chaturanga. Inhale, pull the chest forward and up to our cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Another deep cleansing breath deep into the belly. And exhale, let it go. We'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or hop the feet to the top of the mat, releasing into a forward fold. And inhaling all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhaling, hands by your side. Awesome. Let's get into it here. We'll inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step the right foot back here, bend into the front right knee. We're taking kind of a runner's lunge here with the back knee lifted. Feel free to plant the hands on blocks. We're just gonna bend and straighten through the back leg. Feel free to keep the toes tucked, or sometimes you can get some extra sensation by untucking the toes here. Pressing the top of the foot down on the mat. We're just bending and straightening the back knee a few more times. We'll drop the back knee down, push. We'll lift up with the body here, low lunge, sink the hips forward, feel it down the front of the back leg. And we'll push the hips back straight and through the front leg as we come into a half split fold here. Feel free to ground the hands on blocks again. This is a nice pose for that. Right hip draws forward, left hip draws back. Flex the toes. We'll inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold a bit deeper. We'll tuck the back toes straight and through the back knee here. We're turning towards the long edge of the mat. Toes a bit towards each other to protect the knees. Release into a wide-legged forward fold. We're just going to add some movement here, halfway lifting and folding. So kind of just lifting through the chest a few times, folding a bit deeper. Fold. We'll lift up with the chest again, halfway lifting, still staying low. We're going to walk the left hand to the right foot and reach the right hand back overhead, twisting open the chest towards the sky. Releasing the right hand down, bringing our hands to our hips. We'll stand all the way up with the torso. We'll point the front toes forward, bend into the front knee 90 degrees. The back toes stay pointed towards the long edge. Arms come parallel to the ground, warrior two, sinking really nice and deep here into the front knee. We'll send the back hand down the back leg. The front left hand reaches overhead, peaceful warrior. And as we stand up, we'll straighten through the front leg, maybe inch the back foot in a little bit to shorten the distance. Arms long here. We pull the fingertips forward, hinge over the side body into our triangle pose, trying to stack the shoulders, stack the hips, gazing up. We'll reach the right hand down here, squaring our hips towards the ground. The back foot pivots, so it's at a 45-degree angle, pointing towards the corner of the mat. We want to feel that right hip square forward, left hip draw back. Pyramid pose, really straightening through both legs. We'll inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. We'll walk the hands a bit in front of us. We're just going to lift off the back toes here, coming into a warrior three. For extra challenge, you lift the hands off the ground, finding a balance on one leg, making a T with the ground. Bending into the standing front leg, we'll drop the back foot far back. We're taking a lunge here, high crescent lunge, bending nice and deep into the front knee, 90 degrees. The back leg is activated, straight. We lift it up high. And exhale, plant the hands. Take the front foot. We're going to swing it all the way up and back into a three-legged dog. Reaching those toes up high. And we'll bend into the knee, pull it in towards the chest. The left knee is going to come right towards the left thumb. We're coming into our pigeon pose here, sitting the hips down. The left foot can kind of come close towards your right hip or can kind of push out so the front shin is parallel to the mat. A little bit more intense that way. Find your pigeon that feels good for you. Right hip turns down. We'll inhale, walk the hands back, open the chest into a gentle back bend. Exhale, put the pigeon to sleep. Let the chest fall forward. Welcoming a deep breath here. Lifting up with the chest. We're going to pivot our hips open towards the long edge, turning the back knee and toes up towards the sky. Just keeping this left foot in towards you. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, right elbow, forearm inside the right leg. Left hand reaches over for the right toes. But we're gazing up, stacking the shoulders here. We'll come back up, plant the left hand behind the left hip. We're going to press and lift the hips up, maybe reach the right hand back overhead. And exhale, release the hips down. You can pivot back towards the short edge again. We'll tuck the back toes and lift this front foot back into our downward facing dog. So just meeting a downward dog. Another breath here to refocus, recenter. And we'll lift the heels, bend the knees, step or hop your feet towards the top of the mat, releasing into a forward fold. Before inhaling, rolling it all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side. Wonderful work. Let's take it to the other side. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step the left foot back. Right knee bends 90 degrees. We take a runner's lunge here. Whenever you did on the other side, we're just going to bend and straighten the back knee. If you like to untuck the back toes here, stay on the top of the foot. Maybe just try how that feels. And we'll go ahead, drop the back knee. Inhale, lift up high with the chest into a low lunge. Let the hips sink forward more. We'll inhale once more. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten through the front leg. We're coming into a half split fold, grounding through the hands. Left hip draws forward. We inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, flexing the right front toes. We'll tuck the back toes, lift off the back knee. We're pivoting towards the long edge of the mat, pigeon toeing the toes a bit towards each other, release into a forward fold. I'm just going to turn to face you. You can add some movement here. We're going to just lift halfway and lower back down with the chest a few times. Trying to unite movement with breath. We'll inhale, halfway lengthen. This time we're going to walk the right hand to the left foot. Peel open the left arm up. The chest kind of turns open to the sky. We take a nice twist here. Releasing the hands back down through center. Hands to the hips. We'll take it all the way up with the torso. We point the front right toes forward. Bend into the right knee 90 degrees. Warrior two, arms parallel to the ground, gaze over the front fingertips. It's a lot of glute power here. We're really tucking the pelvis. Let the back hand draw down the back leg. Front hand reaches over. Peaceful warrior. And as we stand up, we'll straighten the front leg. We're going to fold over the side body into our triangle. I like to shorten my distance of my feet a bit here, so maybe that feels good for you too. Fold over the side body, straight line through the fingertips, gazing up. Triangle. We'll exhale, release the chest down, hands framing the front foot. The back foot is pointed towards the corner now. We're in our pyramid stance, straightening through both legs. We inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Walking the hands a bit in front of you from here. We'll lean our way into the front foot, lift off the back toes, keeping the hips square to the ground here. Warrior three, feel free to keep the hands planted or hover the hands to your heart center, maybe out by your side. Awesome. We're going to bend into the front knee and slowly place the back foot behind us in a wider stance here. We're taking our high crescent lunge, reaching the arms up, really engaged and powerful through the lower body here. Inhale. Exhale, we plant the hands to frame the foot, sweep the front foot all the way up and back into a three-legged dog. We'll bend into the knee again, pull it in towards the chest, right knee towards the right thumb. We sit the hips down here, coming into our pigeon pose. So yeah, just feeling the left hip kind of draw down. So our hips are square. You might even want to sit something under the right hip to help elevate a bit. We'll start with a back bend. Walk the hands back, open the chest, breathe. And exhale, let the chest fall forward. Sleeping pigeon. Won't stay here too long, just a nice deep breath or two. Let the tension melt away. Planting the hands, we're going to just come back up with the chest, pivot towards the long edge. I'm going to turn to face you again here. So yeah, the left knees and toes turn up to the sky. We'll inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, left forearm inside of the left leg. Right hand reaches overhead for the toes. Really rolling the shoulders back to open the chest, gaze up. We'll inhale back up, right hand behind the right hip. We press and lift the hips up, reach the left hand back overhead. And the hips come down. We just go ahead, plant the hands in front of you again as we were. We're meeting back in downward dog. So tucking the back toes, sweeping the front knee back to our downward facing dog. We'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or walk the hands to the top of the mat. Inhaling all the way up to standing. And exhaling, hands by your side. Wonderful. We're just going to flow it out to the ground from here. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. We step or hop it back into our plank. Exhale, lower to the ground as you wish. Inhale, upward facing dog, chest forward and through. And exhale, downward facing dog. Wonderful. We'll bend into the knees from here, drop the hips back into a child's pose. Wonderful. Maybe here in our child's pose, just to release the shoulders a bit more, we can bend into the elbows, bring our hands into prayer behind the head. Just more of a shoulder opener. You can even elevate the elbows onto blocks here and really open the heart a bit more. Taking a nice deep breath here. And we'll lift it, roll it all the way up to standing. Seated. Stop to seated. Go ahead, let the legs come out in front of you for a head to toe forward fold, Dandasana. We'll start with the legs straight out, flexing the toes. You can just bring your hands to press into the ground next to you. Bring your chin towards your chest. This is kind of a traditional staff pose here. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, bring your gaze up towards the thumbs. We're going to exhale long with the body as we fold forward, reaching our belly towards our thighs. Feel free to bend the knees here. Chest stays shining forward, back is straight. We inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, feel free to round through the spine here, even straighten through the knees. Take a fold, compress, even if you have to round a bit. We'll inhale back up with the chest, planting the hands behind the hips. We'll press the hips up to the sky, reaching the toes for the ground. Maybe the head falls back, reverse plank. And release the hips here. Wonderful. So in my traditional classes, more time, I would be able to teach some headstand work. Yeah, actually, let's just go for it. I'm just going to finish the class, maybe teaching a little bit of the headstand and then a back bend, and we can kind of close off just to finish. So we're going to come back onto our knees here, back into a thunderbolt position with our heels tucked under our hips. All right. So let's just start with a quick warm up for the upper body. We're going to plant the forearms down on the ground, the palms facing down. We'll here pike. So we're going to tuck the back toes, lift the hips up. This is like our dolphin pose. Yes. Hips are high. It's like our downward facing dog, but we're on our forearms. So we're going to start here with just walking the feet in close to the body, as close as you can get, and walking the feet far back out. You can even kind of take it to a lower plank, walking the feet back in, walking the feet out. Maybe about 2 more times here, just walk in as close as you can get, and we'll walk it back out. Awesome. We're going to walk it out all the way to a low plank. So finding a low plank on our forearms here, we're fully flat, body in line from head to heels. We're going to pike up to our dolphin and come back into our low plank. Pike it up to a dolphin and back into a low plank. Up and low plank a few more times here. Take it up, dolphin pose, low plank. One more, we'll take it up into a dolphin, back into a low plank. Awesome. You can drop the knees, sit the hips back into child's pose. So that's kind of our warm up, a lot of shoulder strengthening, core work there. For our headstand, if anyone is kind of wanting to work up to it, I'll kind of give the first steps. We take hands to opposite biceps. So you're going to grab your opposite arm, and that's how far apart your elbows should be. We'll take our hands to interlace them into a nice little cup here, and that's where the back of our head will go. So we'll come to place the top of the head on the ground, the back of the head in our little cup. And this is kind of where you start most of the way. As you lift off the knees, is going to want to come into the forearms, not really on the head. So you can start with this, just lifting the hips straight up from here. And if this feels okay, this pike position with your head down in between your forearms, we'll start to walk the feet in. So you can play with that a bit, walking out the feet, walking the feet in. Quite some flexibility to get the legs that close to the body. So you can kind of just play with that at first. And then eventually you'll take single leg lifts, like you can bend one knee, foot lifts, bend another knee to foot lifts. And definitely feel free to use a wall behind you too. And you'll be able to just kind of tuck both knees in and eventually press your way up. So that was like an introductory in way to it. Kind of have to first build up the strength and the flexibility. You can play with that a bit. Definitely, if you want to kick up into it, definitely recommend using a wall or having a friend spot you. So after you're done playing, after you've kind of done trying to get into the headstand, you'll sit the hips back, take a child's pose to let the blood settle, just counter, let yeah, let your body relax. It's an intense pose. Lots of circulatory and balancing benefits to it. Wonderful. We'll finish the practice here with a gentle back bend. So coming up with the torso will come up onto the knees. A lot of core compression for a headstand, so we'll just stretch out the back as it tightens up. Tucking the back toes here. You can take your hands to your low back, squeeze the shoulder blades as you open the heart center, gazing up. Feel free to just stay here in this back bend. If you would like to go deeper, you can drop the hands back to the ankles, really squeeze the glutes to open the chest. Maybe the head falls back if your neck feels okay. Feel free to keep it tucked in towards the chest. And if you want to go any deeper, untuck the toes, let the tops of the toes onto the ground. Again, just squeezing the glutes here, breathing into the heart space. We'll slowly come out, bring our hands to our hips, unravel, lifting all the way up, hips back towards the heels, fold the chest forward into child's pose. Just a few more deep breaths. Wonderful work. We're gonna inhale, just sit up here. You can come find a nice, easy seated pose to just kind of finish off our practice. Just finding your breath, noticing how you feel here at the end of practice. Feel free to keep going to take a Shavasana meditation here at the end. I'm just going to close off with one last breath if you'd like to join me. Taking a nice big deep inhale, reaching arms overhead. And exhaling, bringing hands to heart center, just bowing to yourself in gratitude for just who you are, for bringing your beautiful light to practice. I appreciate it. It's always an honor to guide you, and I really hope to do it again. Wish you a
Yay!
wonderful weekend.
Namaste.
Namaste, peace. See ya.